It's never too early to talk about future additions that might be coming to theme parks. So here are my way too early 2024 predictions for the Cedar Fair parks. Starting off with Dorney Park. Rumors have all but dried up about the Gravity Group Shuttle wooden roller coaster that was all but a sure thing. And then COVID got in the way. So what is Cedar Fair's plan for Dorney? It appears they will not be adding any new rides for the 2023 season. So I think that 2024 will be a huge year for the park. The last coaster that was added to Dorney Park was the Vekoma Inverted Boomerang Stinger back in 2012. And that also happens to be the last coaster to get removed from the park. With the removal of Stinger, you now have this massive area for something. While I could see a redesign of the Gravity Group Shuttle coaster, we would see this project now blossom into a full GCI Titan Track coaster. And the reason why I'm saying this is that we will know more about how insane RMC is planning on making Wildcats at Hershey Park, which is located about an hour away. So this could give GCI and Dorney enough time to really make their new Titan Track hybrid coaster even better. Now, if Dorney's 2024 edition is not this, I still expect there is a great chance that we could see a new coaster come to the park. Heading to the North and South Carolina border for Carowinds. And a year after opening a whole new themed area, the park has to turn their attention to the elephant in the room, right? And that is, Carowinds desperately lacks shade. And in the summer, this is how hot it feels walking around Carowinds. And to think, the park offers 0 water rides in the dry park. But that will change in 2024 because I predict we will see Carowinds and Mock Rides team up for a new water coaster of some kind. Now this could be a water coaster that offers a custom layout or possibly a mock power splash. Either way, 2024 will be all about the water at Carowinds, and this will not be a retheme of Rip-Roaring Rapids, because I just feel as if that ship has sailed, and from my sources, that idea is currently off the table. Here is something that you really need to remember, and that is, just because my channel is theme park predictions doesn't mean that every prediction that I make is going to actually happen. Also, as time goes on, my predictions could change with new information out. This is why I always try to create content updating you with my predictions and thoughts. Something to keep in mind as you're enjoying these predictions. Jumping back into the list with King's Dominion, and I am loving what Cedar Fair is doing with King's Dominion. Their new Jungle Expedition is just amazing and so underrated. So in 2024, I think we will see the park retheme Backlot Stunt Coaster and incorporate it into the new area. And I also think we will see a new flat ride added in this area as well. Hopefully, if Tundra Twister is reliable at Canada's Wonderland, then we could see it come to KD in 2024, mainly because that ride just looked so much fun and insane. California's Great America. I sadly do not see any capital going into CGA for obvious reasons. Michigan's Adventure. I honestly think we will start to see land clearing for a new bench sometime later next summer. But in all seriousness, it would not surprise me that in a few years, we'll see this park add a new ride or possibly a new smaller roller coaster. Canada's Wonderland. After focusing on the thrill rides and dining the last few seasons and adding a new family roller coaster in 2023, I predict that Canada's largest theme park will open a new water park attraction at Splashworks for the 2024 season. I could also see the water park get a complete retheme. Now I don't think this will happen, but what if we would see a new water coaster added to this park? I would love to see that happen. Now I would love to do a video like this about Six Flags for 2024, but here is a live look at what new attractions we will see added to those parks in 2024 and possibly 2025 at this rate. Now back to Cedar Fair for Valleyfair. Zambezi Zinger wasn't just a new coaster for Worlds of Fun, because this new roller coaster gave every lower tier Cedar Fair park hope. And it is possible for a lower tier Cedar Fair park to get some love when it comes to a new roller coaster. and I honestly think Valleyfair could be next. The park has been teasing on TikTok apparently about the Dinos Alive area getting something, and we know the park is moving dirt this year on that plot of land, but sadly that was just for the Monster Jam event. So I do think in 2024 we could see Valleyfair open a new roller coaster. And I have said it for a long time, but I could see an RMC single roller coaster opening on this location. But what I love more for this park, and I've mentioned this also before, but how about a new Vekoma suspended thrill coaster? It's obvious Valleyfair needs inversions, and by adding a new inverted roller coaster would be a huge draw for the park. Plus, these coasters are amazing apparently. Now I do think there's an outside shot that Valleyfair could open up something like this. Since we know that Cedar Fair is now working with Zamperla for the new Cedar Point roller coaster, what if we would see them add one of these impressive looking double heart coasters to this area? This thing would totally fit in the old Dinos plot of land and would dominate over the whole front half of the park. Who knows, but all I can say is keep your eyes locked in on that area of Valleyfair. Worlds of Fun. A year after adding their first major coaster since 2009, I really don't expect much. I could see park improvements, a new festival, or even a new attraction added to Oceans of Fun. Knott's Berry Farm. While I've always said those Giga blueprints were real due to how authentic they looked, it appears that a coaster of that magnitude is still a ways away. But there's still a possibility. But for the 2024 season, I suspect we could see the park go with Zamperla and add an air race or another one of their awesome looking flat rides somewhere in the park. Kings Island. This park, like a lot of the other ones in the Cedar Fair chain, lacks flat rides. So I think in 2024, we will see a new flat ride package being added to the park. Since Slingshot was just removed, what if we would see Kings Island completely give the Oktoberfest area a whole new refresh that would include a few new rides? Here is an aerial view so you can see what I'm thinking. I would love to see Kings Island add thrill and family rides to this area and spruce it up, because that would be a huge improvement over what the area looks like now. And finally, Cedar Point. It's hard to think we've known about Steel Vengeance now since 2016, because that was when we found out that Mean Streak would be closing forever and we saw the RMC track on site. And while the park desperately needed the new family spinning coaster that's going to debut in 2023, I predict that the Point has massive plans for 2024, and that is, I think we could see Cedar Point looking to add a roller coaster that would really please the thrill seekers. And I predict they're going to be adding dueling SBF spinners. I mean, all things point to this, right? Okay, on a serious note, I still think the most likely coaster types that will come to Cedar Point next will be either a Gerstlauer Infinity or a Mach Extreme Spinner. But one thing we do have to be aware of is that Cedar Fair clearly isn't jumping into spending $25 million on new roller coasters soon. So we could see something that doesn't cost as much. With that being said, maybe we will see Cedar Point look to add a new Vekoma to their lineup in 2024. Something like the world's largest Vekoma tilt coaster. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. So those are my way too early 2024 Cedar Fair predictions. And be sure to keep your eye out come spring for my updated predictions for the Cedar Fair parks. Now I want to know, what are your 2024 predictions for the Cedar Fair parks? Be sure to let us all know in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for watching. Remember to smile today, think positive, and keep riding coasters.